Hey, Wade.
Hey, Carly. Today we're going to talk about data visualization in Python. There are so many ways to describe data, and one of the best ways to do it is to describe it visually so that you can have users interact with the data in a way that they don't have to go through tables and tables and tables of data. So you've already talked about some data sets and visualizing those data sets. Some of the things we've already looked at are box plots, where we can visualize data as a box and whisker plot. Some other visualizations that we've talked about are, what else have you talked about?
We looked at histograms, which are another way to visually represent numeric data through graphs, basically with bars.
And then the histograms are somewhat similar to a bar chart, except for histograms often will group data together into bins or buckets, where a bar chart is going to have the ability to simply have each individual value for a particular data point being graphed individually. And the biggest difference between a bar chart and a histogram is going to be the spacing between the bars.
Exactly. And a lot of times bar charts are used for categorical data because the x-axis can be categories. Like maybe we're looking at, I don't know, like A's, B's, C's in a course, we could put those as the x-axis.
Another piece of data that often will be based on categorical data are going to be line charts, where each category may be its own line. So you may have a line chart that has different categories of data being drawn on the same chart. So line charts and bar charts can often represent the same type of data, and it's a different representation of them. Sometimes you have two different values where one of them is not a categorical value, though. And if you have two numeric values, a great way to visualize those values is what's called a scatter plot. And a scatter plot is just your classic visualization where you're having an x and a y value for every single data point. And there's a number of other visualizations. One of the kind of classic visualization you'll see a lot that's really gone out of style is called a pie chart, where you can visualize data by having segments of a pie being colored in or otherwise displayed visually in different ways.
So Wade, I have a question. Can we do all of these types of visualizations in Python? And is it difficult?
Yes, so it's not difficult at all. And the reason I wanted to lay out all these visualizations before we go into the code is that the code is going to be very, very, very similar for all of these visualizations. Specifically, if we have a data frame df, we can simply write df.plot dot any of these visualizations. So to get a histogram, df.plot.hist, df.plot.bar, df.plot.line, df.plot.scatter. So all of these are ways we can visualize any data that we have quickly and easily with a single line of code. And this will be what we're going to dive into more as we go through different examples.
That's awesome.